Okay, we're starting on the west side of the house. These are 0 lot lines. We're in the neighbor's yard. There's a little bit of parch coat. The foundation perimeter right there. Again, we're in the neighbor's yard. We got lawn sprinkler heads that are too close to the structure. You can kind of see the moss that's growing around there. Tree is too close. Moving on along. Level grading and drainage. It's on this side and the other side as well. These are, I'm assuming that these are the discharges for the water heater pressure relief safety valves, and possibly a safety pan. We'll find out more when we get in there. I haven't been inside yet. There's some vertical cracks on both sides of this west courtyard privacy wall. There's some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar. Coming along, we got a little bit of high soil here, but that's a privacy fence. We got bushes too close to the privacy wall. The neighbor has a pond. And some of the mortar's washing out just a little bit there. High bushes. We've got gable vents, and we've also got passive wind turbines. And we shouldn't have mixed ventilation systems like that. I get it. The gable doesn't vent very well. You can't get enough ventilation in the attic. But it's just a code thing. Coming along here, high soil next to the house. This is a closed dryer vent. I'm not supposed to have these baskets around them because of the traffic. Again, more vertical cracks between the privacy wall and the structure. Not necessarily on the structure. Moving along here, we're on the west side of the garage. We're behind the neighbor's fence. We have some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar here, all the way up to the soldier bricks. So there's quite a bit of movement. We have some high soil right in there. See if I can get out of here. I can, it's a lock. We'll pick this up. Oh, we'll just reverse ourselves. How about that? I like to go counterclockwise, but I'm flexible. This is the only time you're going to get back here, probably. Maybe. Fence next to the structure is conducive by design. Behind this fence is the swimming pool equipment. Okay, this deck, wood to ground contact, no ventilation. So it's conducive by design, if you will, but this deck's not going to breathe like it should. It's not going to last like it should. Rain gutters discharging water on top of the structure. Moving along, this is the swimming pool equipment. We'll get a better tour of this here in a little bit. We got some separation between these windows here on this north wall, between the window frames and the brickwork. We've got some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar right across here. The notes on the report will go around the structure counterclockwise. This is the swimming pool, and like the swimming pool equipment, we'll spend a little more time on that. But wait a minute. We can't handle this. Fences are beyond the scope of this inspection report, but that spindle, that baluster, if you will, is loose. Swimming pool equipment. That's the swimming pool drain. This is what I'm talking about. This is the main drain for the house. That's what I'm supposing. Unless I'll learn otherwise. Moving on along. What we haven't seen. And it's not uncommon, but doesn't make it right. But there are no weep holes over the fenestrations. These fenestrations up here, they're wood. See, the weep holes aren't required up there. But when you have brick masonry above your fenestrations, your windows, French for hole in your wall, you should have weep holes. In fact, I'm not recalling seeing any weep holes even around the foundation perimeter. Again, welcome to the 80s. Coming along, this window here, we got some more separation between the brick and the window casement and the brick. There's a small vertical crack right there. Moving around, exterior light fixtures should be sealed. Again, it wasn't uncommon for the age of the architecture. Doesn't make it right. Separations, you have flashing. See all this discoloration right here? It's algae on the roof. Algae on the roof, saved by the bell. Good home, this is Bud. This is Bud Roselle, Good Home Inspection. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, bye. Wrong number. We got some stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar right here. A little bit of separation, but what I was talking about, here's the gable vents that I was speaking of. Masonry chimney, chimney cap. We got algae on the north slopes. And then this rain gutter is draining water directly onto the roof covering. And if you'll notice, this little discoloration around here. Discoloration on the rain gutters. You can see that water's been overflowing. They're most likely dirty. It's been overflowing. And then also, see the wooden siding? It's in direct contact. It's in direct contact with the roof covering. It's supposed to be about a 2-inch gap there, so it doesn't do what it's doing, which is the edges of that wood are rotting. Coming along, and so that we've been doing some repairs here. Repairs right in there. Okay. You expected all these bushes next to here, and that's attractive. I get that. Rain gutters are not holding the water, and you don't have much in the way of any soffit. So you're gonna, some problems are gonna manifest right there. It's what happens over time. A nice wood house. Trees shouldn't be closer to a structure than 25 feet to allow for root development and branches. We lost, we got a gap right here between that soldier brick. We got a little mortar problem. It looks like a soldier brick dropped right there, and they just went in and filled it with foam. Soldier bricks are the ones that are standing up. Sailor bricks are the ones that are horizontal. Okay, so like that's a boat going across the sea, and that's a soldier marching across the land. Moving along, wood mulch next to the structure. It's conducive by design. Not by design, it's conducive. The water's been working. This condensing unit, the label is faded. I cannot read it. I cannot pull any data off of that. The electric conduit's loose. It's got rust inside the box. The box is loose. The box should have been sealed. We should have electric service disconnect back here, which was not required when the home was built. All this ground around here is wet. The listing agent's familiar with that. Now we're on your side, and a lawn sprinkler head should not be closer to the structure than 12 inches. Condensing units should be elevated a minimum of 3 inches. They should also be level. Both of these units are R22. R22. We got exposed electric cables here. We're missing a Schrader valve cap. Today you'd have anti-theft Schrader valve caps, but you're missing a Schrader valve cap. Exposed electric junctions. Both these units are R22. This refrigerant is no longer manufactured. It's no longer imported. There is a stock of it, but it's expensive. And they do have what's called drop-ins. You can do alternative refrigerants. Problem with drop-ins is that there's one that advertises that it's more efficient than R22, but as a general rule, the drop-ins, the replacement refrigerants, are not as energy efficient as the original, and these units, neither one of these units, have a very good SEER value. So you're going to put something less, you know, it's between 15 and 35% less efficient. You put something in here, and then any technician that follows whoever it was that talked you into that, okay, they're going to recommend replacement. So you might as well marry that guy, because nobody's going to want to follow him after he, you know, put the alternative refrigerant inside there. Most every technician that comes out here is going to recommend updating your HVAC systems. Now, the Texas Real Estate Commission, it either works or it doesn't work, or it wasn't installed properly, or it's a safety issue that the Texas Real Estate Commission recognizes and thinks that you should be made aware of. So, if these units are working, they're working. I'm just telling you that every technician that comes in here, just about every technician that comes in here, is going to try to rightfully so, sell you an upgrade. This foam is no longer acceptable because of this, because it cracks, it dries, rats chew on it. It should be a hard foam. When these units were installed, that was perfectly kosher. And there's more water back in here. Here's the other safety. The electric safety disconnects. The electric service disconnects for HVAC systems should not be located behind the units. They shouldn't be back there. And I'll come back and I'll put the covers on. I just wanted them off so you can see. See the discoloration on those soldier bricks right there? The water's rolling off of the roof from that flashing. The water's rolling off the roof and it's coming down here and it's discolorating that. Coming along here, you shouldn't have a satellite dish on a roof covering. I've never seen one installed otherwise. I mean, I've seen them on the walls, but I've never seen the bracket. I'm going to have a link to how it should have been installed. That link is the only place I've seen it installed properly. All these vines next to the house is conducive to wood destroying insects. All of them. Moving along. At the front door. That's a ring. Duh. Alright. So, but I'm not sure that this stays with the home. And if a doorbell is important to you, you do have a door knocker. If the doorbell is important to you, you might figure that out. Coming along. Wood mulch next to the house and bushes next to the house. Rain gutter directly onto the roof. Another vent. No weep holes. I lost my place there for a moment. No weep holes. And then the garage door casement, the vertical casement, it's in direct contact with the sidewalk, with the cement, with the driveway floor. So that's going to allow water to wick up inside of it and compromise it like this. So like that, you can kind of see a little bit. I'm not seeing that in the way of damage. Come on along here. We're still at the garage metal overhead door. We got some cracks between the mortar and the soldier bricks here. Between the mortar and the soldier brick there, we're sagging them just a little bit. This lintel is starting to sag a little. It's not unusual. Doesn't mean that you want it. Yay! I got that usual stuff. Okay, that's not the way it works. Usual. And there's the lawn sprinkler rain system, rain sensor, weather sensor. Diagonal cracks through the brick and mortar right here. On the south side of the garage car entry, we're on the east wall. This is the electric meter. It's in this nice little box right here. It's kind of neat. Okay, so it's below grade. This is a Centricon. Centricon system. Termite bait. Some of those are professional. Some of them are consumer grade. Texas Structural Pest Control Board only recognizes consumer grade. Another interesting note about this is that by creating a bait system, termites run with pheromones. So these need to be maintained, or after the poison leaves, the pheromones remain. The termites show up following those pheromones, knowing that they're going to, been advertised, eat at Joe's over here, and there's no food here. Where are they going to go? they're still hungry. They're right next to your house. So for these bait systems to be effective, they need to be maintained. This is how you lose your stuff. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm glad to see it's still here, honestly. This meter has been decommissioned. This is the meter to the house. This is the water meter to the house. That little sprocket in there, that little red sprocket, that's your cheater wheel, your cheater paddle. And if that moves, I just saw it tick a little bit. And we have water on the side of the house. There. If that moves, you got a leak someplace. If this is someplace you can see, well, there it is. If someplace you can't see, you still have a water supply leak into the home. And it's just kind of going backwards now. That's not unusual in older neighborhoods. I'm not saying that actually, I know there's a leak, but I'm not saying that the meter failed the test, because it didn't. Yard's wet though. Over here, this is the lawn sprinkler check valve. It's supposed to be serviced every year. Nobody does it. You can see nobody does it. Don't have enough clearance under it. Hasn't been serviced. Handles are missing. So I'll just put that right here. Put this back where I found it. I'm not sure why they had this splash box like this, but they do. Which, by the way, that's a sprinkler valve cover. It's kind of broken, dangerous. If somebody steps on that, they can break an ankle, fail. And over here, the rain gutters discharge too close to the structure, too close to the house. That's where that splash box should have been. It's right in there. See that? Yeah. And then coming on along, this is the front of the house. This is the south side of the house, south side of the garage. This is where the gas enters the house. So we're going to assume that the electric bonding for the gas system is at the indoor air handlers, the furnaces, and that's not unusual. But that's the current assumption. And the pot is too close to the ground. It's supposed to be 6 inches clearance at the bottom of the gas meter in the ground. Moving along still. The water to the pressure to the house is over 80 psi. With 82, 83, we're getting pretty close to 84. 84 psi. It's supposed to be between 40 and 80, so we have high pressure, too high pressure. We got our arch right here. We got a nice crack between the brick and mortar. High soil right here on the west side of the, actually all around the garage window. Now, a planter box is high soil by design, and that's what we have: high soil, bushes, high soil, below grade. Not all of them are above grade. We're missing another soldier brick right there. We might get some more video. We still have that courtyard over there. See if I can't get a closer peek at some of the roof structure. It's too steep for me to... I'm sorry, but I just don't have that much mountain goat in me.